All right, and I don't know why I don't know why we're on board. We are live, people. What's up, metalheads? Welcome to another episode of Full Metal 5, our top 5 show here on Full Metal Media. You may be wondering, what's the topic tonight? It's very secretive. We haven't told anybody. It's basically music. It's time to light the lights. Top 5 Muppets on Full Metal 5 tonight. Yeah, you heard that right. We are doing top 5 Muppets because there is not dick going on in the world of cinema, and we thought, you know what? Let's get weird. Here we go. Top 5 Muppets. I have a very fun panel to talk about this with me. First of all, himself, we would not imagine doing this episode without him. Professor Gonzo himself, Zach Ford. Zach, what's up, man?
Hey, I feel like having me here might be the giveaway what the topic was. It's only one thing I know in this world. It's Muppets, nothing else.
That's it. Just Muppets. Nothing. Yeah, Jack should have anything else. All right. From down under, all the way down under, Crusher, Malcolm, Lay. Malcolm, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Just ready to talk Muppets.
All right, right on. And rounding out our panel tonight, we only have 4 because due to technical difficulties, we could not get Jeremy. But we have an equally awesome guest. So you have the dude, Andrew Hayes. Andrew, what's up?
Nothing really. I'm excited to talk about the Muppets. I love the Muppets and think that they're awesome, and can't wait to share my love with all of you guys.
Yeah, okay, so let me run down the show real quick. We are doing top 5 Muppet characters, not necessarily movies, because movies would be far too easy. And we never like anything easy on this show. Here's how this show works, for those of you who are new tuning in, and mostly Andrew. What we do is we curate a top 5 list in 3 different nomination processes. The first one is the nomination round. What we're each going to do is we're going to go around and nominate different, well, in this case, Muppet characters, until we get to a top 7, and we'll go on from there. Hopefully nothing ends in a deadlock, otherwise we are in trouble. We start off the nominations, but since this is Zach Ford's thing, Zach Ford, you get to nominate the first Muppet to make the list.
Oh, good. I can get weird then. Let's go really.
Also, really quick, Zach, if at any point if I drop off during the show, you take over.
Okay, that means I can change the show to whatever I need. So Malcolm and Andrew, you shut your mouths, and I can talk for a couple hours. Okay. I have so many written down, it's going to be hard to choose. I think I'm going to take my time to express ones that I am assuming other people might not bring up. And ones I'm defining Best Muppet as in ones who mean something personal to me, but also kind of define what it means to be a Muppet and what kind of the general themes are of Muppets. And I'm going to go with a really big one. I hope people can think a little outside of the box and vote for it, because I really do think it belongs on the list. And the only reason why I think other people, when I think of it, is because it's not really part of the Muppet family. It's a one-time Muppet used with great purpose, and that's going to be the Ghost of Christmas Present from Muppet Christmas Carol. It is one of the most beautiful full-bodied Muppets created. So it is a person inside of it, but it's going to be hard for me to stay focused because I'm just so in love with it. I'm so in love with the Ghost of Christmas Present because it speaks to me the whole reason why I love the Muppets, the whole reason why I love Muppet Christmas Carol. And it's just this loyal kind of joyousness that he just wants to spread around, but with kind of a touch of reality too. He's not unknowledgeable of the sadness of the world around him, and you can see that when some of his tone drops, when he's kind of harsh on Scrooge, but still kind of with this knowledge of how the world can be, has this kind of deep love that he wants to spread and deep joy. And the most memorable line for the Christmas Carol to me, because I read it with my class, is "Come in and know me better, man." And I feel like that's just so ingrained in me because of the way this character delivers it. He comes in, he's just taking up the whole room, like all the joy that he has inside of him, like has made him explode into this overlarge figure that change the size too, and it kind of adds up magic. But him coming to say that line and singing that song, and you can just kind of feel the Christmas spirit, but also just love. And I don't know if they've done better with a Muppet in that way of just making you have this deep, sincere love for humanity inside of you. Okay, I think I made sense.
You will, first of all, folks at home, you will never see Zach Ford more passionate than when he's talking about Muppets.
The course.
First of all, I want to address something real quick. Dan Allen, yeah, is why we're not doing top 5 westerns, because we want to be fun and we want to be weird. So that's another time. Right now,
if Muppets
weird.
were in a western, we can do that one. But it sure should be a Muppet western. That's the
next how cool! How cool would Muppets Good, the Bad, and the Ugly be?
Great.
That'd be so much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick format because we only have 4 of us as opposed to usual 5. His vote will not count. It's just gonna be the 3 who are listening to the argument. So it's gonna be, in order to make top 7, it has to get 2/3 vote. So Andrew, I will let you go first. Does the Ghost of Christmas Presents?
Well, this is one that I initially didn't think of because it is just one that
one-off.
Yeah, one-off. But Zach explained it, and he makes a lot of sense with it. It doesn't capture what a Muppet is, and I agreed with a lot of what he said. So I'm gonna give a yes to this one.
All right, so that's one yes for the Ghost of Christmas Presents. Let's go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, does it make top 7?
Yeah. This also wasn't one that I was going to think, and then Zach's argument actually swayed me. So it's a yes for me as well.
So that's probably the biggest surprise of the episode. The Ghost of Christmas Presents is the first Muppet to make the top 7 list. All right. Wow, I never would have seen that coming.
He's my spirit.
Okay, so
who embodies me.
That's it. You're big and jolly. Okay. Let's go to Andrew next. Andrew, I will let you get the next nomination. What do you want to nominate for top 7?
I'm going to nominate just someone who is just my personal favorite Muppet. You know, I think he 100% deserves to be on here, and that is the Great Gonzo. I think that, you know, like the Ghost of Christmas Past, or not past, present, he deserves to be on here because of his zaniness, and you know, he embodies what a Muppet is. You know, he is one that always made me feel good, and you know, with his various antics, always made me smile. And you know, he is my favorite, so I would love nothing more than to see him make the top 7.
Gonzo is up for debate. I'm gonna go first because my vote didn't count last time. Yes. Just because, he was like the Muppet version of Evel Knievel. He was always doing dangerous shit for the sake of doing dangerous shit. It's kind of like Muppet version of Jackass. But in that, he can go through all this pain, like you still empathize with him. He's not doing it just for the sake of doing stupid crap. He does it because he wants to be. It's the reason behind it. Like, he wants to be amazing. He wants to prove. He wants to show like he wants to live up to his namesake of the Great Gonzo. So I'm giving Gonzo a hearty yes. Gonzo himself, Zach Ford. Zach, does your namesake make the list?
So I do only have a few of the main cast Muppets on my list, just to spread some love to some of the supporting ones. But Gonzo is definitely one on there because he one of the big themes of Muppets is finding belonging, finding a family where it might be harder for you to find belonging elsewhere, and Gonzo perfectly represents that, especially through the original Muppet movie and in Muppets from Space, someone who isn't an animal, he isn't something that you recognize. I mean, you find out he's an alien in Muppets from Space to explain that, but he could never really find where his weirdness and his sense of strangeness belonged, and then found the perfectly accepting family within the Muppets where he can be him and do these crazy stunts, and Kermit just lets him go crazy because I think Kermit himself believes in sincerity, and there's no one more sincere than Gonzo. He's true to himself. So Gonzo for sure, yeah.
First of all, let me just say, the only That's the only origin story that could make sense for Gonzo. Just he's from space.
And it's an underrated movie.
And that's it. It is. I actually really like Muppets from Space. But yeah, Gonzo is the second Muppet to make the top 7. Malcolm, what would you have said?
I would have said that definitely belongs on the list.
Really? Wait, what? Okay. Wow. All right. So, but Malcolm, I will let you go next. What do you want to nominate, or who do you want to nominate for the top 7?
Well, Gonzo was going to be my first one, so I'm going to have to go for my second one, and that is the Muppet, Kermit the Frog. I mean, he's the symbol of the Muppets. He's the one that the first one that everyone thinks of when you think of the Muppets. Like, he's just one of those ones that is always inspirational, and like he's always the one that whenever the gang's in trouble, he's always the one that brings them together and gets them going along. So that's why I think he belongs on the list.
All right, Kermit the Frog is up for debate. Let's go to Andrew first. Andrew, make top 7.
Malcolm makes a very good point. He is the essential Muppet. He is the head honcho pretty much, and he is the first person when you think of the Muppets. I think it would be wrong for me to say no, so I'm gonna have to go yes on this one as well.
All right, and I will go to me next. You know, Malcolm, Andrew, you guys laid it out perfectly. Like, he is the absolute face of Henson Productions and the Muppets. Like, when you think Muppets, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna think of Kermit the Frog. Of course, the 10th time, you're Zach Ford. You're thinking the Ghost of Christmas Present for some reason. But yeah, I feel like with all these characters, the one that has really transcended the felt, if you will, Frog. Like Kermit the Frog. This with the song, the singing, like what his character is about. It's so much in pop culture. He's one of the most recognizable figures, one of the most recognizable people in pop culture. So yeah, I'm going yes for Kermit the Frog. So Kermit the Frog gets spot number 3 on top 7. Zach, what would you say about Kermit the Frog?
I would have said yes, and I just want to also express that alongside his like wanting to follow your dreams and wanting to accept other people and bring families together, there's also a melancholy that kind of runs through Kermit's personality, and you see that right in the beginning of the Muppet movie with him singing Rainbow Connection, and I feel like that like concept of contentness rather than pure joy is probably what has always attracted me to the Muppets, that you can have fun but also kind of accepting reality, which I feel like Kermit does. You still have a little bit of sadness there. So Kermit, definitely love it.
Okay, so that's it. And I believe we come to me next. Ooh, there's so many good ones that I can go with. We got Kermit in there. You gotta get his buddy in there. I'm saying Fozzie. Character, like it's almost a joke character because he is a stereotypical bad comedian, but in that, and he has a whole lot of heart, and some of the best dynamics in the Muppet family are between him and Kermit the Frog. So I'm throwing up Fozzie. Zach, your vote didn't count last time. What would you say about Fozzie?
So I think Fozzie was my favorite when I was a child, and I have a keychain with Fozzie, and I think it has that goofiness and the kind of earnestness that he has to be funny that draws as a kid, but as an adult just doesn't resonate with me as much as the other Muppets, and occasionally can be like a little obnoxious. Not too obnoxious where I'm not going to watch his movies, but I'm not getting the same pleasure from him. So I'm a no on Fozzie.
Really? Wow. Okay. Let's go to Andrew next. Andrew, does Fozzie Bear make the list?
Does he? I'm kind of struggling with this one because, on one hand, he is, has a lot of heart and is very charming with his whole shtick. But, on the flip side, it does get a little bit tiring at times. And, it's kind of, old and worn out. So I think I'm going to go no on this one as well.
Oh, well, no, that's it. Fozzie Bear denied top 7. We're dealing with, folks. Ghost Christmas Present. Fozzie Bear. Malcolm, what would you have said?
Yeah, I would have actually said no as well. I was like, I liked them as
Really?
a kid, but when I watched the recent TV series they tried to do, he just didn't resonate with me the same that he did it when I was a kid. So
Wow. Yeah, this episode, I'm already pissed off on this episode. I'm curious, consider just ending this right now. Go back to Zach. Zach.
Okay.
Your next nomination.
I'm gonna start to get even a little more out there than Ghost of Christmas present. I'm just gonna let you guys pick the ones that actually get voted in, which is how I pretty much played the top movies of the year too. So my next one is another full-bodied Muppet. Maybe I have some sort of bias towards those because they have a little more of a humanistic quality, but this one's really just like small moments in especially the Muppet movie and the Muppets that can be just taken as a joke, but I think there's a little more of the kind of Muppety depth to take, and that is going to be Sweetums. If you don't know who Sweetums is the giant kind of Where the Wild Things Are looking like Muppet. It's kind of like a monster, and when I'm talking about finding belonging, Sweetums is this. He's a monster that doesn't really stick in. He looks frightening, even as a Muppet, like a friendly kind of frightening. You originally meet him in the Muppet movie, and he's working for a car dealer, and that seems like he just ended up there because he couldn't find a belonging in the world. And then the Muppets are like, "Hey, come join us," because they're like, "We'll accept you." But then it goes to the running joke that they repeat in the Muppets, kind of a callback that they leave without him. And you just see him wanting to be part of this group so bad that he runs all the way across country. At the end of the movies, both of them, he'll finally make his way. And that just shows kind of his earnestness to find friends and to be with something that speaks to the sad child inside of me that's just always trying to catch up and find their group. So Sweetums is mine. Great design, great personality, great running joke.
Okay. All right, so Sweetums is on the table. I'm going to go first. Fuck no. No, I'm kidding. Sweetums is one I always refer to. I always forget his name. I always refer to him as, the big guy, because I just never remember his name. Oh, honestly, I'm gonna give it a partially new to Zach 4. I'm gonna give it a yes, and also because like his name entails, like, all he does look like this big scary dude. Like he is a big sweetheart. Like his name entails, he's a big sweetheart. He's a big softie. He's really nice. He's fun to be around. Strangely enough, I'm giving Sweetums a yes. Malcolm next. Malcolm, does Sweetums get a yes?
I'm going to have to say no on Sweetums. It's nothing against Carrot. I mean, I enjoyed watching him. It's pretty much, for me, it's the same as Fozzie. Like, I resonated with him more as a kid, but I just don't get the same affection towards him now. So,
all right. So that's 1 no, 1 yes. Let's go to Andrew deciding vote.
All right. I mean, I really like Sweetums. I think he is a fantastic Muppet. But I just think that there are simply better Muppets out there. And I'm going to have to say no because I just don't think he belongs on this list because I think there are better ones out there.
And Sweetums is denied, folks.
I just am trying to make this the longest show we've had so far. It's the Muppets.
To beat, I believe, top 5 biopics, which came in around like an hour and a half. So we got a little ways to go.
Makes sense.
On. You know what? All the longest episodes have Zach Ford. I've noticed that. It's because he rambles.
If you get me and Henry on the same show, it's gonna go forever.
I would have loved to have seen the top 5 with Luca, but nevertheless, I digress. Andrew, you get your next nomination. What do you want to nominate the top 7?
I'm gonna nominate Sam the Eagle, and that is because
USA.
Yeah, no, I mean, who doesn't love America? But no,
the guy from Australia.
But in all seriousness, I just find his patriotism so charming, and who doesn't love Sam the Eagle?
Yeah, Sam the Eagle. All right. So let's talk about who better talk about the all-American Muppet first than a guy from Australia. So Malcolm, does Sam the Eagle make top 7?
Well, because you got my country wrong, I'm from New Zealand, not
New Zealand,
Australia.
why is it Australia?
When Sam the Eagles won, and probably for that reason, he actually didn't resonate for me anyway. I mean, I was actually going to say no anyway. No.
Okay, so that's 1 no from Malcolm. Let's go to Zach. Does Sam the Eagle make the list?
So, if I had to hang out with any Muppet, Sam the Eagle would be the last of my choice. He just seems like such a dick, and like not a fun dick where you could like Statler and Wardorf of fun dicks, but like the kind of like narc on you for bringing in snacks into the movie theater. And I don't want to hang out with no narc. It's just like Sam the Eagle represents all the teachers I work with that do too much, and I can't handle them. So Sam the Eagle is a no. I've never really liked him. I think he's used really well in Muppets Most Wanted, playing along Time
yeah.
But other than that,
Ripple.
I've never been able to not find him a little too strong, coming on strong. So, no.
Eagles now make the list. I will say he has one of my favorite lines in Muppet Christmas Carol, where he's just like, "It is the American way." God's over his ear. Oh, it is the British way. Now we go back to Malcolm, who is from New Zealand. I want to throw that out there right now. Who do you want to nominate next?
Yeah, it's actually my turn to pick a kind of out there one myself. I'm going to go for the one they created specifically for the 2011 Muppets movie. That wanted to go on a trip to the Muppets thing, and it's just one that was just so fun, and and to see his excitement at meeting all his idols. I bet that was like as what I'd imagine if Zach Ford was to go to the Muppet Studio and meet like Kermit, Fozzie, and all that. It was like that same sort of excitement and embodies the inner child of get a chance to meet the idol. That's why I picked Walter.
Okay. All right. So Walter is on the table. I'm going to Zach first because Walter, I think of you, Zach, because I feel like that's how you would react if you met the Muppets.
I know I would be really excited, and I do look in the mirror and see a puppet version of myself. So I'm more of Jason Segel in that sense.
But, more Jason Segel?
Just because I'm human. Walter was really important for the Muppets to kind of bring fresh eyes into this and bring the kids into it. And I do get super nerdy at the end of it when he does his whistling section to prove that his talent for the Muppet Show. That is Andrew Bird doing the whistling. Andrew Bird, one of the best current musicians out there. Everybody should listen to him. Great at rhyming, great at whistling, great at violin playing. But that's the best kind of moment for Walter. But definitely after that, with Muppets Most Wanted, they didn't know what to do with him, and you can kind of see that he doesn't have a place or a strong enough personality to make his own place, and the whistling wasn't enough to stand out amongst the other Muppets. So I am a no with Walter.
All right, let's go to Andrew next. Andrew, does Walter make top 7?
I'm gonna have to give it a no as well. The reason I knowed Sweetum was because he is good and all, but I just think that there are better ones out there, and I just be on the list.
We're in this for the long haul, folks. That's why I wanted these people, because they know the Muppets, they love the Muppets, and Walter.
And we all hate each other and can't agree.
We all hate each other. We're gonna murder each other off camera after this is done. Okay. Back to me. Oof, there's a lot of good ones on here. There's a lot of good ones that have not been brought up yet.
Yeah.
I still have like 10 on my list.
I bet you do. Wow, 10? Really?
Yeah.
That's. You know what? I'm gonna go with one that has personality made a big splash in pop culture, despite the fact that, and that's Animal. Animal has so much. There's so much to Animal. There's so much to know about him. You know, like he's crazy. You know, especially with drums. You know that he's especially being a good musician, and he kind of plays off of that, rock star archetype really well. He's become like a huge hit in the world of pop culture, and you can clearly see why, just by the fact that he rarely talks. He has so much character to him. So I'm saying Animal for my next vote. Zach, does Animal make top 7?
So, most of the Muppets represent some specific part or emotion of a child or even just a human in general. And Animal is that kind of anarchist ADHD that we all have deep down, where we can't control our energy and just want to kind of let loose and not have rules and just be the complete versions of ourselves, spouting nonsense and banging on things. And I think definitely I relate to him heavily as a child and maybe as an adult. So I vote yes for Animal. Another one that we're not talking a lot about the designs, but just a kind of a really cool design with he has the face with the orange face, but has the red kind of like dreads going off of it, and it just looks super cool and fits his position as a drummer, because then you can just see everything kind of waving and going crazy.
All right, let's go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, does Animal make top 7?
It's a yes for me. Animal's the one that and every time he's always either destroying something or banging his drums or just running around like nuts. So he's just always exciting to watch. So it's a yes for me.
All right, so Animal gets the 4th spot on the top 7. Andrew, what would you say about Animal?
I would 100% have said yes as well. I mean, who doesn't love Animal?
Yeah, exactly my point. All right, now we go back to Zach. What Muppets are? We go back to Zach. Zach, your next nomination.
Okay, I'll pick a normal one this time. I'm gonna go with someone who's kind of a late comer to the Muppets, and I think found his role pretty well and found a role that no one else had, and that's Rizzo. Rizzo was the friend that Gonzo always needed, and because he's kind of a smartass, has a little more urban quality than some of the other Muppets, because some of them come off a little more folksier. So he kind of brought, as the Muppets transcended into the 80s, and he came in Muppets Take Manhattan, and you are introduced to him when they're in New York. He brings that kind of city streetwise quality to him, but he's still just a goofball, and that really comes off in Muppet Christmas Carol, which is 2 of my favorite Muppet jokes ever, which is when there's the ongoing thing about the jelly beans, and when he was going over the gate to get the jelly beans and came back, and Gonzo gives him a weird look, and they have this pause with each other. I'm hoping not confusing scenes. They have a pause, and then Rizzo
you can fit those bars.
He gives them the nice little the gate bars. He walks through it instead of climbing over it the time before, and Gonzo's like, it was easy for you that all along, and you made such a difficult thing. And they just pause and stare at each other, and then Rizzo gives him the sweetest little smooch on his Gonzo nose, and it's the greatest visual gag ever. But that's part of that the goofiness that he inhibits, even though he tries to kind of come off as the tougher version, which once again is a quality we see a lot in kids when they want to come off cool, but they still have that childlike goofy quality to them. So Rizzo is my pick.
All right, Rizzo is on the table. Andrew, your vote did not count this last round, so I'll go to you first. Does Rizzo make top 7?
Gonzo and Rizzo are the best of buds. And I think how they play off of each other is so fantastic, especially like Zach mentioned in Muppets Christmas Carol
and Treasure Island.
It wouldn't, either of those moments or those characters wouldn't have nearly as worked with those Muppets in those specific roles. And I'm gonna have to say yes on this one because of that.
Okay, so that's one yes for Rizzo. Let's go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, does Rizzo make top 7?
This was another one that doesn't resonate with me the same now as opposed to when I was a kid. So it's a no for me. So I'm going to make Chance to be the deciding vote.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Dick. All right, so it comes down to me. Yeah, like Rizzo was he was late to the game, wasn't he, Zach? He wasn't in the Muppet Show. He didn't come. When did Rizzo first come?
Muppets Take Manhattan. Him and the other rats worked in the restaurant.
And I think you're right. Like him and Gonzo together, they do have a really fun, interesting dynamic. Do we give him top 7 though? I'm gonna say yes. I say Rizzo makes top 7.
Nice.
All right, so Rizzo gets spot number 5 on top 7. So I believe the nomination goes next back to Andrew. Andrew, who do you want to nominate next?
I'm gonna have to bring this one up because we mentioned before we went live, and I personally think they deserve to be top 7. I'm going Statler and Waldorf. I mean, like Rizzo and Rizzo and off each other perfectly, and just they're two of the funniest Muppets out there, and they're just kind of the ones I relate to most because I feel like when I'm older, maybe I'll be like that. But I love them, and I think they deserve to be there.
All right, so Statler and Waldorf are on the table. I can't believe I just said these words. Let's go to Malcolm first. Malcolm, do they make the list?
Yeah, well, I love Statler and Waldorf, and it's just always fun. And I always enjoy watching them and the jokes they play. So it's going to be yes for me.
Oh shit! He gives me yes. I think I already know where Zach is going to go. Next.
I do primarily think of Statler and Waldorf more associated with the Muppet Show, as they got a lot of screen time. In the movies, they got a ton in Christmas Carol as playing Marley and Marley's and doing a great song. But other than that, never been fully used. I wish they were always kind of used in a different way. They've always kept them as just that like one joke, give a funny line to make fun of them and move on. I feel like there is some kind of emotional beat they could have hit with these old guys who are just they're being assholes to everyone, and they just never have taken the time to get that emotional beat out. And so I've never been able to fully connect to them because of that, and really find the heart in those characters. So I'm a no.
All right. Well, back to me. I need to stop doing this. Okay. Statler and Waldorf, I do agree with Andrew. Like a lot of the funniest jokes and funniest one-liners do come from those two. And, I think Zach's kind of underselling it because they do have a lot of definition. They're the cranky old bastards who are all in theater, and a lot of people can relate to it because like everybody knows someone like that or seen someone like that or been around someone like that. So I do think in that they're very relatable. That being said, slightest no, because I do think there are other Muppets more deserving on this list to be on this list. So Statler and Waldorf get a no from me. Let's go to Malcolm. Your nomination.
Well, I'm going to go for one that I've always enjoyed no matter what, and that's the Swedish Chef. He's always been a fun one to watch, and especially like every time like you see him cooking, it's like he's always throwing in random stuff. It's like all his quips. I mean, you don't really know what. That's the fun, is like trying to interpret his balks and whatever he's trying to say. So that's why I think Swedish Chef should be there.
Hurdy. Okay, I'm gonna go to me first this time. It's interesting because like Swedish Chef could be the same thing. Like it's someone who always kind of did comedy bits because you don't know what he's cooking, you don't know what he's saying. All you know is shit's flying around. Like sometimes the food talks, sometimes it doesn't. Like it's. Every time the Swedish Chef has a bit, whether it was in a movie or the Muppet Show, it was absolutely just nuts. And really fun to watch. So I'm saying I'm giving Swedish Chef a yes. Let's go to Zach next. Zach, Swedish Chef, does he make top 7?
So it is, yeah, one of their like greatest just goofball creations that had been out. Jim Henson's drug altered mind to come out just
Alleged drug altered mind.
just shouting nonsense and throwing delicious recipes. By the way, if you have not eaten at Swedish Chef's Kitchen, it's A+ shit. But he is another one that very, very much is a great part of the Muppet Show, has never really been used to full effect in the movies. The only like one gimmick that I can come up with on the top of my head is that when he was in the Muppets 2011, and they had him and all the other nonsense speaking Muppets together doing their like barbershop bit singing Nirvana, and that's a great moment for him doing that. Yeah, while trying to cut reluctant Jack Black's hair. But other than that, I just don't think there's enough moments where he sticks out in the movies. So I am a no.
All right, and Andrew, your deciding vote, Swedish Chef.
I love Swedish Chef, and I agree with what Malcolm and Chance said, but there is a bit that I really, really want to be on this list, and I mean there are 2 spots left. Fuck it. I'm gonna say yes because he deserves to be on it. I mean,
oh shit.
There's 2 spots left. There's still a good chance that the one I want gets on, so I'm gonna have to say yes. Can't screw Swedish Chef out like that.
You can't do Swedish Chef like that, brother, because Swedish Chef makes top 7. One more spot left, so we're gonna see who can fill it. I'm gonna go next. It's a tough one because there's a lot of Muppets I do want to throw up on here. I'm gonna throw up one. I'm throwing up Rolf, the dog that plays the piano. The dude's hilarious. He has a great style of deadpan humor. I do think like the whole like lazy artist thing really works for him, and I think he lends a really, really good, really fun, really hilarious dynamic to the Muppets. It's a great effect in the movie because like another thing that works about him is like he always wants to feed into his cane, his like dog instincts, but he's always trying to resist. He's always trying to stay proper. And when he slips, it's still hilarious. So yeah, I'm throwing up Rolf. Andrew, I'll go to you first because you were the deciding vote last time. Does Rolf make top 7?
You know, I see a lot of these. This is tough because we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and I you know, just this is still not the one that I really want. So I'm gonna have to go no because there's this one specific Muppet that I really want to get on, and you know he's just not it. So I'm gonna have to go no.
Okay, well, let's go to Zach next. Zach, does Rolf make top 7?
So I'm busy looking up the pronunciation of Rolf because I've always said Ralph, and now you had me doubting my whole life.
I think like tomato type of thing.
According to MuppetCentral.com, that most people voted, 42% of people said Rolf, and 9% say Ralph.
I say Ralph. But I say most things wrong.
It's ROWLF. How else? Row?
A couple people said it Rolf. Rich, it's definitely not Rolf.
Rolf?
Okay.
Definitely not Rolf. There's an L in there.
So back to focus. Ralph is probably who I was going to bring up next, debating between a couple, and it's just he has that laid back attitude that I desire to have. That I definitely he's not the Muppet I relate to. He's the Muppet I wish I could relate to. It's just easygoing, does what's asked of him, but he's kind of like, and I think they might have done this as a joke somewhere. He's kind of like Sam, the piano player in Casablanca. It's like, okay, I'll play everybody's tunes. But also, I know we talked a lot about like our favorite bits from the movies, but if I had one favorite joke in all the movies, I had to pick one. It's in the Muppets 2011, and they're going around trying to get the team back together. And Ralph's like nags Kermit's like, "You didn't tell my story." Like, tell him how you got me. And then they cut to like Ralph lying in the hammock. He's going, hey, do you want to come? Yep. He's just like, yep, let's go. I'm not doing anything.
That's hilarious.
And I think that joke alone wants me to have him in the top 7. So Ralph, yes.
All right.
Ralph.
So that's Rolf is on the table. Malcolm, you're the deciding vote. Does he make top 7?
Yes, but there's just like Andrew, there's a Muppet I really want to get on there, so it's a no from me.
Oh, shut down. Shut down by the newsie. All right, Rolf does not make top 7, and we are going back to Zach.
Okay, so since that's off the table, I'm going to go no one that's kind of behind the scenes, doesn't have a lot of lines, but it's just his presence is great. Also, the best name in Muppet history is he doesn't always go by his full name. Usually, it's just Floyd. Full name, Sergeant Floyd Pepper. And Sergeant Floyd Pepper somehow made it out of the 70s. He's this perfect 70s creation of this kind of this like hippie, drugged up band members. Is like, hey man, and he's not the band leader, which I respect. He definitely seems like someone who is creative and like talented as part of that band, but he doesn't have that ambition to kind of take the lead. He's more of a, Dr. Teeth, I'll let you do it. And I kind of just like that attitude that like he's confident in himself, but doesn't need to be the one in charge, but just kind of having always there, being calm, being cool, and kind of carrying over this hippie attitude that the Muppets was kind of originated from, and still having that little bit of peace there kind of maintains that history and tradition. So Sergeant Floyd Pepper is my pick.
All right, Floyd Pepper, the bass player of the Electric Mayhem, is on the table. And not Andrew. Malcolm, does Floyd Pepper make the list?
Yeah, I think Zach put it well. Like, he doesn't really get a lot of screen time. He's kind of pretty forgettable, in my opinion. So it's a no for me.
All right, we'll go to Andrew. Sergeant Floyd Pepper, does he make the list?
I mean, I love Electric Mayhem. They're fantastic. But there's a couple reasons why I'm saying no.
Just think of the name, Andrew. Think of the name.
I know. I love the name. And as someone who plays the bass, I could appreciate that. But, just when I think of Electric Mayhem, I don't think of him. I think just because, Dr. Teeth and Animal, they're just better, in my opinion. And I'm going to have to go no.
So that is Sergeant Floyd Pepper is shut down. Probably my favorite member of Electric Mayhem. Him, Animal, and Dr. Teeth. But still a valiant effort. Let's go to Andrew. Your next nomination.
Let's see. Well, I gotta go with the one that I've been waiting to get brought up, but it just hasn't get brought up. Beaker. He just so fantastic. Always kind of, getting, the butt of the jokes with, always hit and getting harmed in some way, shape, or form. And like Swedish Chef, I think, you don't know what he's saying, but just because of that makes him that much funnier. So I'm going with Beaker on this one.
Right. Beaker is on the table. We'll go to Zach first. Zach, list.
So up front, I was going to be a no, but then I just think of his face in Muppet Christmas Carol when they're trying to ask for donations, and even though he's like this nonsense, goofy, and you can't really think that he has any thoughts in his brain, he just kind of looks like sad and upset, and it added a little bit of some character that we might not thought Beaker had. But I think I'm still going to be a no. We don't need 2 gibberish speaking Muppets in our top 7. And once again, just another one that never really functioned with me enough. The other 3 Chef.
All right. All right. Malcolm, Beaker, does he make the list?
Yeah, it's a no for me. There's another one I really want on the list. That's just as simple as that.
We are never going to get to this episode. Everyone keeps giving Spike votes. But
If everyone's waiting for that one Muppet.
That one to get brought up. I wonder if it's all the same one. I'm curious. All right. Well, nevertheless, Beaker does not make the list. So now we are back to Malcolm. Nomination.
Muppet has been kicking at my door, trying to get me to say her name. So I'm going to bring her up now. It's Miss Piggy. I mean, her and Kermit have a really great chemistry together. She is always she's always the one that always challenges Kermit quite a bit, and even though they are broken up now, sadly, but I mean, they're always there, and so that's why I think Miss Piggy should be on the list.
Piggy has been brought up, but I'm gonna see if let's see if Zach agrees. Zach, Miss Piggy, does she make the top 7?
I said I only had a couple of the main cast Muppets, and those for me were Kermit and Gonzo. Miss Piggy, for some reason, I've never been able to find her vibe and find her connection to the other Muppets. She's just such a strong personality, such a different personality, and I've always get the opinions like, why do people want to hang out with her? But I guess it's for the show. You got to have that starlet. I do say, I had to talk about this at some point. I'm not an easy crier in movies at all. Bawled my eyes out in Muppets Most Wanted, because they're singing the song with Celine Dion and Miss Piggy, and they're talking about Kermit and Piggy getting married and having green little piggies and pink little froggies, and then they grow gray and old, and you see old Kermit and old Piggy, and all my life flashed before my eyes, and I bawled my eyes out. And I guess now that I'm saying this, I'm just going to vote yes, because she made me cry, and if a Muppet can make me cry, fuck it, yeah. So otherwise she's annoying, but she has one great scene.
All right, fine. So we have one yes from Zach. Andrew, Miss Piggy, does she make top 7?
I mean, I gotta think about this one, because I mean she is good, but I don't know if she's quite top 7 good. I'm gonna have to go no on this one, because I just don't think I personally like her enough to be on the top 7. I think there's just more that I like than her.
So now we go back to me. I really thought Andrew was going to say yes, or else I would have done this. This is a hard one, because she does have a great dynamic with Kermit, and it's a really great dynamic between the two of them, because you have Miss Piggy, who was seemingly larger than life, and then you got little quiet Kermit, who's like, who wants no part of this shit show? But Miss Piggy's always still in the spotlight, and the two of them really do have a sweet kind of relationship. I'm worried. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? If I say no, I'm really curious. I think she's just she's not more important, but maybe just as important as Kermit to the Muppet dynamic. So I'm gonna give Miss Piggy a yes. I'm giving her the last spot on the top 7. I'm gonna let now before we go on to round 2, I just want to let everyone get some honorable mentions out of the way. I'll start with Zach first, because I know Zach had a ton on his list. Zach, any honorable mentions you want to throw out there?
I've done a few. So yeah, I'm down to a few. Bobo the bear would have been the next one I said. He's just kind of always the sidekick, but on the wrong side, just because he doesn't have the intelligence to fully realize what's going on. But this happens to Muppets from Space and the Muppets. But then you realize his brain's able to connect what is truly happening. He has the heart inside him that he wants to do well. He's just a loyal Muppet. So Bobo the bear would have been my next one. Uncle Deadly, also kind of this creepy, a very sincerely creepy design. But then you can kind of see more of his personality that contradicts that. And he comes off as more this intellectual. He's really the good opposite for Bobo the bear. Camille, what I almost brought up just for being by Gonzo's side, she's truly in love, guys. Camilla is a nice loyal
Camilla,
girlfriend.
the chicken.
Or Camilla, sorry. Yep. So she was on my mind as well. So and since you brought up multiple Muppets like Statler and Waldorf, somehow counting as one Muppet, I was going to bring up just the various rats, just the group of rats that appear in Muppets Take Manhattan working
All
with
the rats.
that great joke, and then the group of rats working with Cratchit. In Muppets Christmas Carol, and they have the great song when they're trying to clean up, and a lot of good visual gags with that. I think is fun as well.
All right, Andrew. Any other ones you want to throw out there before we move on?
No, the two I was gonna bring up, Zach already mentioned, that being Bobo the bear and Camila the chicken. Those are the only two that I was gonna bring up.
So has it noticed Piggy? Bubba the bear might have gotten on here. Any other ones you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I mean, like, one of them, he's always really fun when he's on screen. You've got the shrimp prawn guy, I can't remember what his name is now, but
Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe the prawn, and the scientist that's always found Beaker is always pretty fun as well. But yeah,
Bunsen.
Yeah. All right. And to me, I think Scooter was one I was considering throwing around there. Beauregard's always really fun. And throws fish and has them come back like Captain America's shield or some shit. I might had I got really desperate. I might have thrown in the big blue one. I can't remember what his name is. I just know him as the big blue one.
I don't even know what you're talking
about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about from Muppets 2011. And Constantine, because he made a meme. He inspired a meme. So I think I would have given him his due. All right. But that is it. So let me remind you of our top 7. We have Gonzo, Rizzo, the Swedish Chef, Miss Piggy, and strangely enough, the Ghost of Christmas Presents. So this is a pretty fun Muppet list. So I do say so myself. Now we got to. Here's the hard part. We got to cut 2 of these. We're going to work at the opposite round. One, someone's going to nominate who should get kicked off the top 7, and then we will once again put it to a vote. So I'm gonna, Zach was the first one to nominate one to be put on. You'll be the first one to nominate one to get taken off. So Andrew, for top 7, to get kicked off top 7.
Who? Let me think. Just because she's my least favorite, Miss Piggy, out of the 7, so I'm gonna nominate her.
All right, Miss Piggy is up for getting kicked off. First, Zach, Miss Piggy, is she still in top 7, or does she get kicked off?
I give her a nice karate kickoff.
Jesus. All right. And Malcolm, Miss Piggy, does she get kicked off the list?
well, this is a hard decision. So I put her there. I say keep her there because we need diversity.
Because we need diversity.
I mean, we have a frog, a monster, an alien, a rat, and
a guy who's probably high on shrooms, if we're being totally honest. Diversity.
Well, I mean, she's the only female one.
Get more diverse. I'll go to me next. Miss. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, pork chops, you're off the list. Miss Piggy is off. It does not make top 5. Your pick was taken out, so I'll let you go again. Who do you, out of the ones we have already nominated, who do you think should get kicked off the top 6? I guess now.
Who'd you say?
Was it me?
Yeah, you're on screen.
Well, I'm going to Zoe to be kicked off. I mean, it's one of my least favorite characters. Connected with him at all. So that's why I think Rizzo should be chopped up.
You said Rizzo, right? Rizzo. All right, making sure. All right, so Zach, Rizzo is on the table. Does Rizzo get kicked off?
No, Rizzo's my best friend, and my only friend. So I need to keep Rizzo on the list.
All right, Andrew, does Rizzo stay or does he go?
Who can you tell me who's left?
We have the Ghost Christmas Present, Gonzo, Kermit, Animal, Rizzo, and the Swedish Chef.
I mean, I'll say yes. I think Rizzo should stay.
All right, so doesn't matter what I think, Rizzo stays. Zach, we will let you kick off another one of your buddies. Who gets kicked off? Who gets kicked off top 7?
So I think there's only one other one that I did say no to, and it is a great joke, but just once again, not very prevalent in the movies, and never really had that emotional beat that I'm trying to bring up with all the Muppets for me to connect to, and that's Swedish Chef. So Swedish Chef is my nomination.
All right, Swedish Chef is next on the table. Let's go to Andrew first. Swedish Chef, does he?
You know, again with Miss Piggy, just out of the ones that are the one that's my least favorite, and because I truly want the Ghost of Christmas Present to be on the top 5, I'm gonna have to say no.
Wait, so he stays or does?
Oh no, he's gone. Get him out of here.
Oh, Swedish Chef. Oh, Swedish Chef is gone. Okay, Malcolm, Swedish Chef, does he stay or does he go?
I put him there, so and he stays.
Ah, fuck. This is hard. Because I do like Swedish Chef a lot. He's a fun character. Zach's actually right. He doesn't get used a whole lot in the movie except for like side bits. So I remember it was a Swedish Chef from the Muppet Show, Muppet TV specials. So I'm saying Swedish Chef is off. So that is it. So just a recap of our top 5 right now. We have Gonzo, Kermit, Animal, Rizzo, and once again, strangely enough, Ghost of Christmas Present. Yeah, this is what I never could have called. So
I'm so happy. I was planning on that being my first name since we talked about this months ago.
All right. So now we go to the ranking process. What's going to happen is a spot is going to be up for voting. We are going to write down on our trusty whiteboards of paper that we have on us. Got to go get his whiteboard because he's an unprepared dick. Spot is going to be up for debate. And we are going to write down what believe deserves to go on that spot. So kindly write down what Muppet you believe deserves to go on the number 5 spot. God, I hope we all don't say the same one. No, actually, God, I hope we don't all say different ones. If we all say different ones, I know how we're going to break this. All right. Everyone ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. We'll go to Andrew first.
I'm sorry, but the Cinderella story's got to stop sometime. Ghost of Christmas Present.
All right. Malcolm.
I tried to get rid of him, so I put rid.
Rizzo.
I have an animal, my beautiful drawing that I wasted our times by drawing.
All right. Well, we already have number 5 because number 5, I also had Ghost of Christmas Present.
Oh, son of a bitch! This is my number 1.
I can paint it for so long.
It can only get away. It can only get away so long. So now, gentlemen, if you'll write down what you believe deserves to go in the number 4 spot.
Oh wait, I just fucking erased my drawing.
Now you got to draw it again. All right, we're all ready. I will go first. I have Rizzo. Now we will go to Zach next. Zach?
My recreated animal drawing, but I didn't write animal.
That's fine. We know what you meant. Malcolm.
I didn't have to erase anything. I've just kept Rizzo.
All right, you're keeping Rizzo and Andrew.
I put Kermit.
Jesus.
Doesn't matter because Rizzo gets the number 4 spot on the list. Now, Willie deserves to go in the number 3 spot on the list.
Oh, why did I erase it? I mean,
Gotta hope there's no deadlocks. All right. Looks like we're all ready. I will let Andrew go first. Andrew.
I kept Kermit.
Malcolm.
Animal.
Okay. Sorry. Zach.
Animal.
Crude drawing of animal again. And I also had animal.
Boo.
Yeah. Gentlemen, if you will all vote what you believe deserves to be on the number 1 spot.
Oh, we're voting for who's number 1? Well,
Yeah, you got to change your.
Yes. There better not be a tie. All right. Looks like we're ready. Andrew.
I was tempted to put Zach Ford, but, I put Gonzo.
Yeah. All right, Malcolm.
I put Kermit the Frog.
Hi-ho. All right. And Zach.
I'm not ready. Okay, I didn't get to finish writing
You
the
done?
lovers, the dreamers, and me. But that's Kermit playing banjo in a pond.
What the hell is that?
That's Kermit. He's playing banjo.
Well, the list is Kermit the Frog, ladies and gentlemen. So, just to recap, number 5, we had the Ghost of Christmas Present from Muppet Christmas Carol. Yeah, that's real. Number 4, Rizzo. Number 3. Thanks, Zach. Number 3, Animal. Number 2, the Great Gonzo himself. And number 1, of course, Mr. Kermit the Frog. Gotta admit, guys, this is a pretty fun episode, as I thought it would be. Of course, panelists of Muppet lovers, viewers. So, thank everybody who's watching. Thank you, everybody who's watching on this and the rewatch. Thank you. I promise we'll get back to normal topics next week. But we wanted to have fun. That's what the show's about. We want to have fun. We want to talk about our favorite subjects. And you know what? We're not ready to talk about Maze Runner yet. So we'll save that maybe for next week.
Top 5 mazes.
So a lot of mazes. Top 5 movie mazes. There you go. All right. From Ford. That's Malcolm Lay. Andrew the Dude Hayes. I'm your host, Chance Titan Ellison, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.